Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review for you guys on the new Lorac Pro 2 palette. I am so excited to do this. My best friend actually got me this palette as congratulations for getting a new job. Thank you so much, Mika. Once again, she has spoiled me and I am so grateful. Thank you, babes. Thank you so much. So pretty much this is what it looks like. The shape and the size and the feel is exactly the same as the number one. The only thing that is different is that it is gray. So if you know what the number one looks like, which mine is a little bit dinged up, this is the number one and this is the number two. So pretty much it's exactly the same. It doesn't even have two on the front of the palette to know, so that you know that it's the one or the two, but you would know from the color. And on the inside, I'm very sure you guys have seen this a lot, but as always, the top row is matte and the bottom row is shimmery, and this one has a bit more of a pop of color. It is still kind of on the neutral side, so you do get an everyday kind of use out of it if that is your kind of thing, and you do get a few jewel tones that are matte and they're actually pretty good. So I'm gonna do some swatches for you guys so you can decide within yourself if you want to get them. But let me just do a side-by-side comparison before I do the swatches. I'm just gonna hold them up side by side. So this one is the Lorac 1 and this one is the 2. Just gonna back up a little bit so you can pretty much see that the color scheme. Let me turn this one a little bit more so that you can see it. The way how they've laid out the shadows in terms of going from the lighter ones, which are at the top, to the darker ones, which are on the bottom, is pretty similar. Yeah, the only color that is being repeated is the black, and the black is right here, but to me the black is not very dark, so it does give you the ability to build up the color slowly without being like a really harsh black. But I do have darker blacks that I can use, but I do like the black that's in this palette. So then we're going to move on to the swatches, and I'm going to start with Buff, which is this one here in the top, and it is a yellow toned highlighter. This is a beautiful color for a highlighter for darker skin ladies. If you really want something that is not white and you are more like a yellow undertone like I am, this is a great highlight color for you. The next one is called Light Brown, and it is exactly what it is. It is a light brown. I can imagine that this would actually be a good color for some ladies who like to do their eyebrows with shadows. If you're a lighter skin tone, it definitely is more kind of like a taupey kind of light brown. It has a slight pink tone to it as well. I really do like that color. Sometimes I find myself mixing the two of these together to get the perfect highlight color, especially if I don't want something that's too bright. So I'm also going to include a little bit of a clip showing you the makeup that I have on today, and I just wanted something really smoky and really dark, and this is why I came up with using this palette. I'm probably going to do another tutorial, and I also have one that is up from Soak on the Hill. I did use this palette, sorry, to create that look, and it was very simple, so you could take a look at that. I'll link that down below. Right, so back to the swatches. The next one is Cool Gray, and I found that this has become my favorite almost everyday color for blending out the crease. I thought it was going to be too light, but it's actually very perfect for everyday kind of thing, and it is very much a taupey kind of gray. It has like a slight purpley kind of tone to it as well. But let me tell you, this color is amazing. If you want to do something that's not a brown for a crease color, that one is definitely it. The next color down now is Nectar, and Nectar is very peachy, and I use this a lot to cancel out the darkness on my eyes before I put down a shimmery color, and it is just amazing. It is a peach kind of color, definitely very orange, pinky kind of tone to it. So this is great for all over the lid kind of color. I have no complaints. It is very nice. It is pigmented. It is smooth. It is perfect. The next color is one that everybody was definitely talking about that caught their eye. It's Plum, and it is exactly as it says. It is a plum rich kind of color. Most of the videos that I've seen on YouTube are of lighter skin ladies, and this color was stellar on their skin. And on my darker skin, as you can see, it absolutely pops. It gives depth to any kind of look that you have. It is just amazing. It blends out really nicely. The quality is right up there. The next one now is Navy is exactly what it is, and I love that they are very simple with their naming. You don't have to go trying to figure out what it is. The color is what it is, the name is what the color is. And look at that, that royal blue is absolutely amazing. It is so dark, it is so pigmented. The only other thing that I have that looks sort of like this is from one of my sleek palettes. I think it's the Bad Girl palette. That is a dark blue, that is a navy, that is amazing. The next color now is charcoal, and it is as it says, it is a charcoal gray. I would definitely still find a use for this. Gray is not really a color that I use very much, but I do want to try to get it into my routines when I'm doing looks for work, maybe even looks for going out or just for YouTube. That gray is really nice. And then the only color that is being repeated is black. And as I said before, this black is not terribly dark. It is a lighter kind of black, so it's really more for adding a little bit more depth to a look as opposed to be used as you know, a true black. So these are all of the matte colors. I think they're amazing. The pigmentation is spot on. I do not have any primer underneath my swatches or anything like that. This is just bare swatches. On to the shimmery bit, and the first one we have here is Snow, and this one is kind of like a off-whitey kind of beige kind of color. It shows up more white on my skin, and on the palette though it looks definitely more like an off-white, a silvery kind of white. So that's what that looks like. Not one of my favorite colors to use truthfully when I'm doing makeup looks, but it does have its place maybe as an inner corner highlight or something like that. The next color is called Beige, and unfortunately my fingernail nicked it, but anyhow, this one is exactly as it is called. It is a shimmery beige color, and mostly when you find the Lorac colors, you do not find a whole lot of chunky shimmer. It is definitely more of a frosty kind of texture to your eyeshadows, which is actually pretty nice. It's nice to not have to worry about big chunks of glitter falling out on your face, because that is just not sexy. The next color is one of my absolute favorites in this palette. It's called Rose, and it is exactly what it's called. It's a very beautiful champagne-y kind of color, and I would imagine that you would definitely get more of the rose tone to it on a lighter skin tone. But this is also one of the other colors that I use in a look for Soap on the Hill. It's absolutely gorgeous on the lid, and these colors, these shimmery colors, apply so well if you use your fingertips, and you can use them wet or you can use them dry. So just play around with that and you would definitely get a really good set of combinations. The next color is Mocha. Mocha, well, I think mocha means different things to different people. Because I am a darker skin tone, this does not really come off as mocha to me. I wouldn't really call it a mocha. It is definitely some kind of latte, kind of brown shimmery color, but it's not so much of a mocha to me. But it's still a beautiful color, all over the lid, everyday color. Can't go wrong with it. The next color is called Chrome, and this color is definitely more of a shimmery taupe. It does have a little bit of a silvery undertone to it, but it's very taupey. It is very taupey, and it has that grayish kind of color to it. This is good all over the lid kind of color as well. Can't fault it. This color is really nice. The next one is Silver, and it is exactly as it's called. It's a silver. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this color. It is a silver. There's really nothing more to it than that. It is beautiful, it is bright, and it kind of does remind me of the white that's there, so they're a little bit too similar for my liking. The next color that was very interesting to me, that it looks one way in the pan, but then you swatch it with something a little bit different. I've actually used it in this makeup look today, and it is so smoky and so beautiful. It's one of those burnt kind of colors that has that black base to it. So when you turn your hand different directions, you get a little bit of gold going through there, you get the jade, but then you also get the black base. That is absolutely amazing. That color I have on my lids right now, and I smoked it out and I just ran it into my brown, sorry, the black that I had there, along with some cool gray. This color, this combination is so amazing. And last but certainly not least is the color called Cocoa. And Cocoa is the same kind of principle. It's also one of those like brown black kind of colors that has the dark kind of base to it, a black kind of base to it. But this one is kind of a reddy kind of brown, purpley kind of reddy kind of brown. It is quite amazing. These swatches are so good. This palette, I've been using this palette every single day for the last week that I got it. That is how much I love it. I usually try to switch up my looks, but I've said, you know what, I've got to use this palette. I've got to know how I'm gonna best use it, so when I do a video on it, I have a lot of information and everything. So when you look at these colors right now, I was saying to myself, I might have something in my collection that will look kind of similar, and the one thing that I saw that would be kind of similar to it, and I had it upside down, please excuse me, is my Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. Now if you look at this side of the palette, these colors here would be a little bit more similar to some of the beginning colors here. I mean, you can't go wrong. Truthfully, this was like $5 US, and this Lorac Pro 2 palette is like $42 US. So you kind of could get away with some of the colors that are in here. Is very similar. But for me, personally, I have experienced the Lorac shallows, and I would still buy the kind of drugstore ones, but I would be more inclined to still put out the money on them because they're absolutely amazing, amazing quality. Would I purchase it? Yes. Would I recommend it? Yes. If it fell or I lost it, God forbid, would I buy it again? Yes, definitely. I am in love with the Lorac Pro shadows. I'm definitely going to go and see if I can get some more of the Lorac shadows. Their palettes are really, really nice. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but this is the package for the 2. It looks exactly the same as number 1. It's just that it has 2 on it, and it also comes with a behind the scenes primer, which I actually do still have. The last one that I had has not disappeared yet, so yes. That is pretty much it, guys. I hope you like my review along with my swatches. If you have any other questions for me, please leave them below. And yeah, if you have a particular combination of looks that you want me to try, just leave it down below in the comment section, and I will see y'all guys next time. Bye.